I'm Garrett Gunn. You might know me from Good Boy, Warcorns, Franklin and Ghost, and you're watching The Experience.
I do not have new projects right now, but I would love to highlight Blacksmith, which is currently ongoing from Ahoy Comic Magazines. The third issue was released in September. Fourth issue will be out in 2 weeks at comic shops everywhere.
So you're in the third issue now, right?
Yes.
Third issue now. So is this your first work with Ahoy?
Yes.
And did you have the project all, it was all your baby?
Yes.
You brought it to them?
Yes, I brought it to them. I'm working with artist Wendell Cavalcanti, we previously worked together on Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists, which came out through Scout, and is also available in trade paperback.
That's awesome. So if someone were to dive into your work, where would you start them?
I would suggest that they go ahead and check out No Angel, the book I co-wrote with my sister Adrienne of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., John Wick, and the Orville fame, which was published through Black Mask in 2017. It's the story of a woman who discovers that her father was part of a cult and believed himself to be descended from angels, and the truth may or may not have gotten him killed.
Ooh, I like that. So when you collaborate with someone, collaborating with a sister has got to be interesting.
Yes.
Because you know each other, but just collaborating with people in general, how does it usually work? Does someone come with the main story idea, and then you guys just bounce around how it plays out?
That's actually exactly how we did it. We kind of came up with the broad strokes of the story together. I flew out to LA. We had a long weekend where we sort of figured out and broke the story, what the main beats of the story would be. I went home to Ohio and wrote the scripts. Then I sent them over to Adrienne, and she kind of gave her notes. It was very interesting because she sees things through a very different storytelling lens as someone who works in Hollywood.
Sure.
And then, once we were both happy with it, we sent it off to our artist collaborators and onto the publisher.
That's awesome. So, what genre do you lean toward? What do you love the most to write?
I like light fantasy or fantasy with horror elements, things like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Sure.
Most of the work that I've done kind of fits into that sort of genre, urban fantasy, if you will.
Sure.
And so that's kind of where I live as far as my stories.
So is New York home to you, or did you have to travel from afar?
I traveled from Seattle, Washington.
That's really far.
That is very far.
I didn't travel hardly at all.
No, lucky you. Where are you coming from?
Texas. To me, it's like a 3-hour ride. That's it.
Right. So.
Man. So, Kyle's buying something. It's my favorite thing ever.
Sign it.
So for people that want to connect with you and follow you to see what you're doing next, what's the best social media?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at Eric Palicki, and then I have a website, ericpalicki.com.
Oh, that's perfect. All right, thank you everybody for tuning in with us. We'll see you again.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to New York Comic Con again. I'm Miss Jen. This is David Krausen. with this awesome book, which looks like it's sold out of every issue number 1 that there is.
Yes.
Which makes sense to me. Harriet, Tubman, Demon Slayer. This has been an insane ride. Are you getting as much attention from publishers as I think you're getting right now?
I mean, the publishers know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mainly getting attention from people like you who run awesome stores, and lots of people out there watching, just like the general public, which is great, and I'm happy about. And people just keep coming back. Like, we had a whole entire box, more than one box. We had 5 or 7 boxes of issue 1, and then we sold out of that. And I'm like, oh my God, all right. Then we got a reorder on it just for the weekend, and we sold out of that. Now we're down to maybe 1 box.
Okay, so are people that are coming to the booth, are they brand new to you and the book, or are they I've heard about it and now I want to jump in? What has been the general consensus?
Well, the general consensus is for the longest time I just had issues 1 and 2, and then during the pandemic I got 3, 4, and 5, and people hadn't seen me at a convention since 2019. So then it was a bunch of people who came to get 3, 4, and 5, and then new people were getting 1 and 2 just to test it out and see what they liked, or they would get issue 1 just to test it, and then they would come back and get 2, 3, 4, and 5. But it's been mainly that.
So everyone's going to want to know when 6.
Halloween.
Where that's this Halloween?
Yeah, it'll be available for pre-order on Halloween. It'll come out officially November 10th.
Oh, that's crazy. So are you focusing all your energy on Harriet, or do you have other things that you're working on creating right now?
Yes, I have another book coming out. It's called Nightmare in Newark. It's about a girl coming out to her family on Thanksgiving, and she lives in northern New Jersey. And in the middle of her coming out to her family, an alien invasion erupts in her town.
Of course.
So she has to survive this crazy alien invasion and come out to her family.
Oh, what a great combination.
Thank you.
What was the inspiration?
The inspiration was me, I was living in an apartment building, and in Harlem, and there was a bed bug outbreak, and I found out that the landlord, he planted the bed bugs on purpose, just so he could get everyone out and raise the rent. So it was just the way it was just so scary with all the bugs and aliens. I was like, wait, what? There were aliens, and then I based it around that.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations on all your success. I know that I didn't know about your work until the pandemic started, so as crappy as the pandemic has been,
Yeah.
it allowed for extra time for people like me as retailers to kind of look and see what else there is out there. So have you found other people finding you because of that?
Yeah. Different people are reaching out, someone we both know who's awesome, Joshua, and just for distribution partnerships that have been coming my way, and different stores, because we were all home and kind of people needed things to do, so it was kind of a great time for me. Even though it was crappy that I couldn't do these events, everyone was I need to do something to take my mind off of everything. So they were just looking at all the comics basically, and they just order them in droves.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so October, the announcement for the new series.
Yes.
Anything else? You have any far out projects you're thinking about?
Right now, it's just Harriet, Nightmare in Newark. I do have a book coming out called Killer Bee, and it's just about a woman. She's an assassin who's retiring, and because she feels kind of broken inside, and she meets this man in her apartment building, and she falls in love with him. And she's like, all right, I'm going to retire from being an assassin. And then she gets her final assignment, and her final assignment is her boyfriend.
Oh, no.
So it's like John Wick, but a romantic comedy. And her name's Beatrice, and so I call it Killer Bee.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
I love it so much. Oh, so for anybody that wants to follow you,
Yes.
they haven't been following you before. Where's the best place?
Yes, okay, the best place to follow me is D. Crownson. You can also follow me at Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. It's spelled wrong.
I've never noticed this.
They spelled it wrong, but it's all right. But but Harriet Tubman _ Demon Slayer. Follow that for all updates, and go to kingwoodcomics.com.
That's awesome. All right, everybody, make sure you add that to your polls at your local comic shop. Don't miss out on this series and others coming from David soon. See you guys later.
Bye.
Hi, everybody. This is Jen back at New York Comic Con. I'm here with Kevin Smith.
Hey, everybody.
It's so funny because I just want to say, Kevin Smith did meet. It's not true.
Oh,
Did Legends.
yeah. Not that other book.
No. If it was my brain was fire, so I'm like, oh. So, New York Comic Con. How's it been treating you?
It's great to be back. It's been awesome so far. Day one, a little sleepy. The past couple days have been beating me up every day in a good way, so I'll take it.
So you're the kind of person that comes here first thing in the morning, stays to the last thing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm here about half hour to 45 minutes early, something like that. And I get settled, put my books up, I start drawing, get kind of warmed up, and make sure I drink plenty of coffee. Even though that's not you know, like I try to be here for everybody to come in and make the most of it.
Are cons like a natural thing that you normally do?
Oh yeah, I've been doing conventions pretty much ever since I got out of Joe Huber school. Like I started going right away, and I didn't even have anything really to sell yet. I didn't know what I was doing, but I kind of came forward to it. So I've been doing shows now for about 10 years, which is very weird to say. Right now, like I just realized I've been on the scene for that long, but yeah, 10 years now, and so it's another, you know, it's like riding a bike. I mean, we missed it for about a year or so, but easy to jump back into.
What do you miss the most about doing conventions today?
The extra income.
Money.
Yeah, money, yeah. Well, you know, like it's good seeing fans. It's good to see a lot of my friends. I mean, like just to have that social outlet of seeing friends and being able to talk about what we do on a day-to-day basis. You know, when we're in the studio, it's just you. You gotta be responsible for you. And then here it's like, oh yeah, I'm not on this journey alone. We all do this. We all make the same crazy thoughts, and you know. And but here I get to get together with my buds and jerk around, and joke around, and you know, talk for 10 hours straight every day, and stumble over my words. It's great.
You don't seem to have lost your voice very much.
It's getting there. I was this morning. I woke up and I was like, to my
I don't understand why this is here. I had ibuprofen.
But yeah, it's my voice is gonna go soon.
So, do you have any projects that you've announced at the show?
Not that I've announced. I'm not sure if I announced when I was on the show last, but I'm doing Star Trek: The Mirror War for IDW. So yeah, there's some cool art that's associated with it. Yeah, so it's actually Mirror War was supposed to come out this past Wednesday, but it got bumped to next week. So Wednesday, October 13th. Star Trek: The Mirror War, also Dead Legends 2 trade paperback, which I do have here at New York Comic Con early, a week ahead of schedule. It's fantastic. You're going to want to get it.
So, if people want to follow you on social media, remind them where to find you.
At Gavin P. Smith, GAVINPSMITH. On Instagram or Twitter, it's the easiest way to find me.
Thank you. It's
thank
always
you.
so much fun to catch up with you.
Absolutely. We'll do it again soon.
Absolutely. Everybody, we'll see you next time on the XP. Comic Con, my good friend David Babos, who has all these amazing books that I have read and love. There are things that you can only get at Kickstarter, which is the OZ, which is an amazing wartime look at characters you would normally find in the Wizard of Oz. But it's amazing steampunk goodness. Scout's Honor, Spencer and Locke. You gotta hear this stuff from the man himself. What's been going on?
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. This has been a fantastic show. I missed New York Comic Con. This is my 5-year con-anniversary. We announced Spencer and Locke at New York Comic Con 2016. So it feels like coming home. This has been just a really fun show, and it's been so good to get to show off my new material. You sold our books really well. The OZ is What If the Hurt Locker took place in the Wizard of Oz, about Dorothy Gale's granddaughter, who's an Iraq war veteran who finds herself stranded in the war-torn land of Oz. And she discovers that Grandma killing 2 wicked witches in the span of a week and then leaving, it's not a happy ending. It causes a power vacuum that's plunged Oz into decades of civil war. So she's going to have to reunite her grandmother's former friends as she hopes to survive the occupied zone, or as the locals call it, the OZ. And then, Scout's Honor, it's a brand new trade. The trade paperback just came out last week. It's Mad Max meets the Hunger Games. It's about years after a nuclear war, a cult has risen from the ashes, and their Bible is an old Boy Scout manual. So, if you're a fan of things like The Hunger Games, The Handmaid's Tale, even Planet of the Apes, you're really going to love that book. And then, Spencer and Locke, my baby, my flagship book. What If Calvin and Hobbes grew up in Sin City? About a hard-boiled detective whose partner is his childhood imaginary friend. So, a little True Detective, a little Fight Club, and 100% a love letter to Bill Watterson. And then, last but not least, the baby of the table, Going to the Chapel. It's Die Hard meets Wedding Crashers. It's the story of the world's worst wedding, and that was before the bank robbers showed up. It's the only book on the planet that targets fans of Quentin Tarantino and Julia Roberts. So, it's super fun, and we've got more fun stuff coming in 2022.
Oh man, so what do you have your hands in that you can tell us about? Was there anything at New York Comic Con that you came here to get people excited about?
Absolutely. Well, the trade paperback for Going to the Chapel only came out a few weeks before the pandemic hit. So, there are a lot of people discovering that, a lot of people discovering Spencer and Locke 2 after the success of Volume 1. But the OZ and Scout's Honor, those books were my pandemic books, and so I'm so excited to get to finally see people reading it in the wild. And people have been so excited about these books. They've been my top sellers on the table all weekend, and that's against a normally strong seller like Spencer and Locke. So I couldn't be more thrilled to be back in New York and just to see fans excited again about my work and everybody else's.
So the OZ Kickstarter date, do you have one?
So we are hard at work finishing Volume 2, which we just finished our Kickstarter for last month. Artist Ruben Rojas is about 75% finished with the line art. So we expect that to be done, I'm hoping by around Thanksgiving. And then colors and lettering is going to go by very quickly. Printing is going to be about 2 to 3 weeks after that. And then I would expect 2 to 3 weeks just for shipping. And so then, we're hoping to do the 3rd and final issue first half of next year. We don't want to keep readers waiting any longer than they have to. We have an explosive finale planned for this series, and Ruben is just so excited to draw it, and he's been drawing the work of his career with this book, and I can't wait to see where he goes next.
So is it supposed to be a 3-piece?
Yes, and all of our issues are double size. I want to give our readers plenty of bang for their buck, and we've got some really fun things planned for Dorothy, the Tin Soldier. We're introducing the Prince of Lions, our take on the Cowardly Lion in Part 2, as well as Jack Pumpkinhead. And getting to get in the head of the Scarecrow a little bit more in issue 2, and especially issue 3. I think he's my favorite villain that I've ever written, and he has reasons for doing what he's doing. And that's, I think, the most compelling kind of villains of all.
So Spencer and Locke, are we going to go back into that universe?
Yes, I'm chiseling away at Volume 3. We're doing a Garfield-themed serial killer is picking off the Peanuts gang.
No!
We're very excited about that. And our heroes, they have some things to work out. Without spoiling, Volume 2. There was a little bit of fallout after Roach Riley's rampage in Volume 2. And so, like many friendships, there's a lot that Spencer and Locke have to work on to sort of reestablish their partnership. And they're going to have an interesting partner that they're going to be working with in Volume 3 that's really going to change the game in a big way.
Oh, I'm so excited. All right, Ray, there you have it from New York Comic Con. If you liked any of these titles, you should get in touch with your local comic shop and add it to your pulls, or look forward to trying to get that issue number 2 for the OZ, and then back to Kickstarter for number 3, so you get access to that as well. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys later.
internet, it's Kyle. I'm here with world famous cartoonist and legend Art Balthazar.
Yay! That's me.
Yes.
He speaks the truth, this guy. He's telling you all the things that are real.
So, Art, tell us about the stuff on your table. Tell us about how your show's going.
It's going good, man. I brought 100 pounds of books because I had 2 bags on the airport that were 50 pounds each. And I'm already gone. This is the only book that I have left that I brought. I got 1 book left, and I sold everything before today. And it's cool, man. People are buying things, and people walk up and just see my new book and pick it up and don't even look inside. They just say, I need this one because it's new.
Right?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Do you have a lot of repeat customers like that? They're just like, oh, Art has a new book. I gotta have it.
Yeah, all the time. I met a bunch of kids yesterday who read my Gorilla stuff for Disney Adventures, and they're adults now. They graduate college, they get married. So, and I read a lot of people all weekend saying they grew up reading Tiny Titans. So it's real cool to see them now. And then parents bringing their kids. So I get to see repeat customers grow and make families. And they get girlfriends, fiancés, then they get married, and then they have kids. So it's kind of cool. I feel I'm growing with them.
Yeah?
I've been doing this almost 30 years. I think it's 28 or 29 years.
Well,
It's a lot.
And that's kind of the goal, right? Is to lifelong fans?
Yeah, I think so. As long as I could buy pizza and shoes for my kids. Because I got a boy in college now, just left. I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to sell more and more books. Everything's $5 at least, you know?
So, pizza and shoes, like,
Yeah.
what's
And
that
he's-
like? Shoe money tonight?
My boy's into Air Jordans. So
Oh,
it's
God.
rough, man.
Oh, God.
He's got like 12 pair at home. And he's got them all. He knows what to do with them. He fixes them. He puts that thing in there to keep the laces from bending. I don't know what he does. But, and then pizza, man. The biggest thing when I order pizza, everyone knows where I order from, but they always say, pizza, where from? And I say the same place every time. And they're like, okay. Like, I don't know where to get that part.
Have you gotten any endorsements from your food, your passion for food? Like when
Harold's
are we
Chicken?
gonna get? Yeah, when are we gonna get? You know, All Yet Comics brought to you by Harold's Chicken.
I need it, man. I went to Harold's Chicken before these trying times. I was there like three times a week. And the cook from the back came out, and the manager said, you're here all the time. You're here at Harold's, but you're here all different hours of the day. You're here at 1 in the afternoon, you're here at 2 in the morning. And they're like, what do you do? And you bring your sketchbook. I got a book, so I sit there and write. And I told him I draw comic books. And the guys in the back said, comic books? What do you draw for? I said, Batman, Superman. They're like, oh, cool. And then, so I got to know them really good. The manager wanted me to draw a piece of art for the wall. And I was working on a painting, and I went to go back and deliver, and she moved on. And so they got all new people, and they don't know me now. This pandemic messed up everything. Messed up publishing schedules and my Harold's relationship.
So let's wrap up talking about baseball.
Yeah, man.
It's a good time to be a Chicago fan.
I hope so. We lost the last 2. The Astros are beating us bad. But we're in the first round of playoffs. We're going to play tonight at home. And the Chicago fans are awesome at home. So I think what's going to happen, the home team's going to win every time. And that last game 5 is going to be a battle. I think the Sox are going to win the next 2. Then the battle's back in Astros territory. It's going to be rough, but man, I'm so proud of the Sox for what they did. But if they don't go all the way, you know, I'm still a loyal fan. It's in my heart.
Right.
I loved them since before I could remember being born. So I probably was born in 1968. I probably loved them since like 1953. You know? So I'm like in negative numbers. When my dad was in 8th grade or 7th grade, I still loved the White Sox. You know, my grandma traveling here from Mexico, she's like, mijitos, he's going to be a lifelong Sox fan. And he's not even born yet, she's only 6. She knew. She was carrying my DNA in her somehow. My great-grandpa blossomed in CISO. He's like, this man is translating right now. He's going to be a little something. That was translation in Spanish. Blanco, Saxo Blanco, I don't know what's called.
I don't either.
That's bad. You can erase that.
Yeah,
No,
well-
keep it in there. Yeah, it's good. It's all true, man.
So you've had a good show. Do you have anything new we should be looking out for? Any other than?
Yeah. Powers in Action is my superhero group. I'm working kids read the books I made in high school, and they said, "Daddy, these are good. Just do it again." And they couldn't believe I did it. So I'm working on volume 2. I'm working on all 3 month stuff right now. Silver number 4 will be out in January. True Job number 2 will be out, I think, in January or March. And I'm working on more comics. Working on Laura from Laura. Working on Local Z. A lot of stuff, man. And I'm at the point right now where I just finished a whole bunch of deadlines with DC Comics and movies. And now I can jump in with the sleeves rolled up, White Sox, now that they're going to be November.
Right.
We're going to get a hard thing to work. So I can't wait, man. It's all great road stuff from here on out.
So where do people follow you? Where do they go to support you and see what you're doing?
Artbulletizar.com is the best. It has all my links, but I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, we have a YouTube channel. I do a show called Famous Cartoons Says Things, where I talk about stuff. The Famous Cartoons Draws Things, the Famous Cartoons Paste Things. I'm going to do the Famous Cartoons Do These Things. We're having all about Harold every day. That'll be good. We'll do videos.
You go on a road trip to Muncie for the
Oh, pork loin, man.
pork loin in Muncie? Yeah.
Oh my God! And I want to put the camera just on my plate. You can see my hands. And it just slowly, when the meal's done, the show's up. But I'm a slow eater. It could be an hour and a half, you know.
Hey, there you go. Content's content, right?
Yeah, man. Artbulletizar.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Art.
Right on, brother.
This has been Kyle at New York Comic Con with Art Balthazar.
You guys are awesome. Okay. The hustlest working man in comics, the hardest working man in comics. He's always got an angle and he's always working.
That's always true. That's always true. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Victor Dandridge here, hardest working man in comics, saying hello.
So, I'm sitting on the ground.
Yes.
Because Victor's been standing up selling books all morning and he needed a break.
I've been at least...
Like, the towel is out.
I've been standing up talking a lot. I won't say selling a lot, but talking a whole bunch. Meeting new friends, having the best time at New York Comic Con.
Right, like the towel is out, he's like mopping the
Listen,
ground.
when you're the hardest working man in comics, you gotta have a, you know, it's my cape, it's my James Brown, it's all part of the whole aesthetic.
Right, like I was doing a show one time and I had to find a Walmart to buy a towel.
See?
Like,
I bring my own, because I know.
Right?
I know.
Absolutely. So, tell us what's going on with Vantage In-House, tell us what's going on with you, what's going on with everything.
So, okay, I can limit, I'll have to limit what I can say.
No, you don't.
No, I technically have to. I've signed papers that say I have to do so. But
we won't tell nobody.
Yeah, no, I hope you want to tell everybody. So, Vantage In-House, obviously, for those that don't know, is my self-publishing imprint. We are celebrating 11 years of Vantage In-House as a publishing imprint that started here at New York Comic Con in 2010. And so, one of the best things that I can say is that we are growing almost exponentially in terms of our outreach. We've got 5 amazing titles of our Phase 1 series. That is Wonder Care Presents The Kindergartens, Origins Unknown, The Trouble with Love, The Samaritan, and Old Crazy and the 40 Ounces of Death. With over the last year, we've expanded that to now include Never Too Late, which is the sequel to The Trouble with Love. And we also have the first issue of Point of Authority Family Ties, sequel to one of the stories from Origins Unknown. On deck, we have, let's see, what can I tell you? We've got The Night Watch, which is coming. It's a reference to Batman, if you will. Imagine if Batman realizes after 20 years that he's been doing this wrong and needs to make a change in his tactics and his effort. So that's what The Night Watch is all about. We also have, I gotta give a shout out, Todd Beistel will be the artist for that one. I gotta give a shout out to Wonders of the Weird and Beyond. It's a version of the Fantastic Four. It's a super family, no superpowers, but Dr. Wonder is this brilliant genius, creates things, inventor. Mrs. Wonder is a world-class athlete. You've got Young Wonder, who is a very tactical, brilliantly kid, like he's a brilliant kid, solves crimes and things like that. And then of course Kid Wonder, he was actually born with a special articulated equilibrium, and so he's like a world-class pilot, brilliant, fun, family-oriented story. Seth the Moose is going to be the artist for that one. We've got all kinds of stuff coming, so I can't even wait for the world to see. And I will say this, soon, very soon, we will not be limited to just comics as a presentation for Vantage In-House stories. That's what I can say.
Live action Victor Dandridge as a Samaritan.
I didn't say that. I did not say that, but I didn't say that.
I can predict the future.
That's a good future. I want to live there.
Yeah.
I want to go to there, for sure.
So let's talk just in general.
Yes.
What's new?
Well, right now I'm in a crazy state of looking at the business. We're getting back to Comic-Cons, and obviously as someone who made their career in the Comic-Con market, I'm very happy about that. I've missed this. If you don't see me exhibiting, a lot of times you'll see me where I'm moderating for different panels, also celebrity panels, all that fun stuff. Next week, we've got the last Wizard World Chicago show, and you talk about the end of an era. That's one that, while many people have had their misgivings about Wizard, it's been my home for a long time, and it's had its place in the industry. So I am sad to see it go, in some way, shape, or form. There's something that's kind of sad about something like that ending. But there's also an opportunity for a new future, so I'm very optimistic about what that can be.
Yeah, I keep saying to people, it's good to be home.
Right. You got to.
Right.
You got to recognize that.
I stayed home all year to come home to Comic-Con.
Exactly. Because this is where we really live.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, all right. That thing where your brain resets in the middle of a phrase.
I love it. I love it.
So, tell me this.
Yes.
You're one that has taken to the, along with Mike Watson and a few other dudes, have taken to the online kind of streaming and
Sure.
that kind of stuff. How has that changed the game for you?
So what it does, and particularly the year without Comic-Cons, it gave us a way to extend our reach, or at least maintain our standing with people. And it's not for everyone. Not every comic creator is as extroverted and enthusiastic as, say, Mike is. I know I'm not either. Like, I have my own level of things that I do, but to match him, never. I would never try. It's crazy. I'm out of my league. But it gives us an opportunity to do things in a very unique, interesting, authentic way that we can stay in touch with our current fans and build new ones. And I think that's going to be a wave of the future. When there's so many premiere events that are happening at once, sometimes the easiest answer is I'm going to stay home and I'm going to touch as many people as I can that aren't there either. And that's the wise thing to do. So I think it's just opening up a new opportunity for us, not only as sales, but promotions and just general engagement. Like, we don't have as an indie creator, we don't have the bullpen, newsletter things that go out to talk about, oh, this is what happens when we make comics. But now we have TikTok, we have Facebook Live, we have, Instagram Live. We have different ways that we can do this and get people interested in our world, our creative process. And that's what we should be doing, moving forward. That's the future, literally.
So where should people follow you, especially on TikTok?
Okay, so my TikTok name is hard for me to remember. It's HWMIC_VHD2. I think I said that right. I hope I did. But otherwise, you can find me at Vantage In-House on all forms of social media. And if you're interested in making comics, please check out You Create Comics, which is my imprint that gives you the tools to make your own comics from start to finish. That's You Create Comics. That's the letter U, CRE, 8comics.com. We have programming that we do in schools. In fact, I have in November, I'm super excited, LoveCon in Texas. They have a couple of events that I'll be doing stuff for virtually. Again, showing that the future is reaching people even if you're not in the same space. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have kids creating characters, creating their own IPs, playing with being an entrepreneur. All these things that will build up the future of our industry. We're starting today. You Create Comics. That's what we're all about.
It's a really good, it's a really good seminar. Like, he's done it like when he's come to my store.
Thank you.
We've done it in some schools. It's
Yes.
a really good little. it's a really good way to get kids into comics, and get
Absolutely.
kids into being creative.
Yes, our motto is kids who make comics read comics, and kids who read comics can read anything. So that's
True.
how we're trying to build the world.
So, all right, man. Thank you so much for
Absolute
talking to
pleasure.
me and letting me sit on the floor and like you're gonna read me the night before Christmas. And
No, it's Goodnight Moon. We're going to read you Goodnight Moon.
can we skip it and go if you give a mouse a cookie?
Oh, I'm with that. If you give a mouse a cookie, that's my jam. I got
Yes,
you.
absolutely. So, all right, man. Thank you so much.
Thank
We'll see you
you.
very soon.
For sure.
This has been Kyle on the floor, literally at New York Comic Con with Victor Avery. It's Kyle. We're back at New York Comic Con. I'm here with fellow giant person, America's Tom Zahler. Tom, how's your show been?
Been good. Today especially has been tough.
Yeah. This is the busiest I think I've seen Artist Alley.
Yeah, and it's nice and kids.
Right?
I was worried that they wouldn't be able to get in with the vaccine requirements, but yeah, it's
So many kids. Yes. So many kids. And there's so many of them are in cosplay and are like going for it, which has been great. Have you seen any that have been particularly awesome?
one of the best ones I saw was somebody dressed as Wanda from Wanda, but all black and white.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, Tom, you may know from Love and Capes and My Little Pony and other things that we've done with him on the experience. He's been on several times. Have you had any announcements? Have you had anything coming out? Has there been anything?
So there are two. One is that I'm doing a Kickstarter for Love and Kids in the time of COVID, which is going to collect up the issue that I did during COVID as the heroes deal with the pandemic. But funny, I promise it's funny. And the other is that he's just got airship TV. This is the Cubateros trade.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
This should be available in a couple weeks, a few weeks. I'm not sure exactly when, but my publisher brought these out for the show, and they're just looking gorgeous.
That is amazing
So,
looking.
aside from my art, it's fantastic.
I think the art's amazing looking too.
Thank you.
So, what has been? Is this your first show back on the road?
No, it's like my fifth.
So, I've been saying to everybody it's good to be home. What has been the most, I don't know, home-ish thing that has happened like this weekend? Like, has there been a minute that's like, yes, we're back? Or any other 5 shows you've done?
Webtoon fans are very expressive, and like there are more happy tears with them than anyone else. I mean, it's been great to be able to be part of that again, and because as an artist, it's validation, but it's also just the appreciation and the connection you have with your fans that you can't get just online.
Nice. So, you have Cubateros, which will be available in comic book stores soon.
Yes.
Kickstarting Love and Capes in the time of COVID.
Right.
What else is there down the line that we should be looking forward to? Is there anything you can tell us? Anything you can't tell us?
There's lots of stuff I can't tell you.
Are you sure you don't want to tell us?
I would hate to. So Paramount and one of the writers, Star Trek Prodigy, liked my tweet that there should be a Star Trek Prodigy comic. So I am pushing on that because I would like there to be a Star Trek Prodigy comic.
The internet, go retweet this tweet and then tag at Paramount and at Paramount Plus and all the places.
There is a photo of me on the bridge of the Prodigy. I don't know what the name of the ship is, honestly.
Yeah.
But there's a photo of me on the bridge, so I'm qualified.
Absolutely. So make that happen. Tom, where can people follow you on social media? Make sure you plug the Patreon.
Sure. You can follow me at Tom Zahler, THOMZAHLER, on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Patreon. That's the best place to go. And then my website is TomZ.com. I spell Tom with an H because my mom spelled Tom with an H.
Awesome. And make sure you follow the Patreon. It's one of the best Patreons I know of with comic creators because it's new content all the time.
New page every week.
Right. It's, yeah. So, sometimes people get a little behind, but new page every week.
And then hopefully coming soon, I'm going to continue Cupid's Arrows on Patreon.
Ooh, that's a big plus. So make sure you do that. For Tom and everyone up here in this lower oxygen level here at New York Comic Con, I've been Kyle. This is The Experience. We'll see you soon. What's up, Internet? It's Kyle. We're back at New York Comic Con. I am here with the Kaylin Smith type person. A plume, and for goodness sakes, and Hope, and she's done a bunch of stuff. Right now, I should not have come behind the table.
No.
Because I'm seeing this, which is clearly a commission for a person.
Yep.
And I'm super jelly.
Yeah.
So I made a mistake in this interview. But how was your show?
It's great.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's been wild to be back.
Right.
You know? I'm loving it. It's like riding a bike, but also it feels like, what the heck are we doing?
Right.
Yeah.
It feels like you're riding a bike on the way to a crash.
Yes. It feels like riding a bike with a flat tire, and you're just kind of like trying to figure out, you know, the balance. But no, it's good. I'm having a blast, and yeah.
So, is this your first show? This is not your first show.
No, this is my 4th show back.
So I've been saying to everybody, it's good to be home.
Yes.
What has been the thing that's like, all right, things are back? Like, what has been that moment for you?
I guess, well, the first show was in Grand Rapids, and so hanging out with, you know, peers again after the first day, it's like, okay, we're back. You know, after like packing up for a show, I had no idea what I was doing anymore. I had no idea. And then when we got it all unpacked, we got through that first day, and then it was like, oh, okay, all right, now I know how I'm supposed to do this. So yeah, it was at the end of the first day on that first con. Yeah.
So we have, for goodness sake,
Yes.
the Bloom.
Yes.
What else is happening? What's new? Do you have new stuff happening?
Yeah, so currently working on a new project. It's going to be exclusive to my Patreon people, and then once it's finished, it'll be Kickstarter. So very early stages on that one. And then working with Scout Comics for their series, Loot. It's a young adult novel. It's like a Indiana Jones type novel. So working on that right now.
And you do the whole thing with your regular books. You write, you draw,
Yeah.
you do the whole shebang.
Yeah, I'm a control freak, what can I say?
I appreciate that. But with the Patreon, that gives you another outlet for those stories.
Yeah.
So tell people about your Patreon, tell them about the backer levels and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so my Patreon, I like to post like behind the scenes, like especially with this new project. I'm showing like scripts, early stage like character designs, just like the thumbnails for each page. They get to see like behind the curtain for this entire series, and it's based on the level of the tiers. It's you get artwork, you get behind the scenes, you get process videos, and then you get physical rewards. So I'll send out like stickers and bookmarks and magnets every month for the higher level ones. So yeah.
Where can people go to find that?
Patreon.com. Oh gosh, Kaylin Smith Art, I believe. I should know that off the top of my head, but I don't. Search for Kaylin Smith. Oh wait, KaylinSmith.net, and then you'll be able to find it through there.
There you go. See, we have some rust to knock off, right?
That whole bike is wobbling. But no, I'm getting there.
So KaylinSmith.net, where else can people follow you?
It's on Twitter, Kaylin Smith Tweets, and then Handmade Crown on Instagram.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I will let you get back to doing the things.
Thank you.
the internet? It's Kyle. We're still here at New York Comic Con, and I am back with a man who has been said understands cartooning better than anyone on the planet, Jay Fosgate.
How you doing?
Very well. How about yourself?
Doing just fine.
How's your show been?
It's been very nice. It's nice to be back in New York after almost 2 years away.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is this your first show back on the road, or have you done... Well, I ran into you 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I've done a couple, but I would say this is the biggest I've been to since things opened back up. And it's been wonderful. I mean, New York is my city, so there's just so much to experience here outside of the cons. Everything in the con is just icing on the cake.
Right. Has there been a moment where you're like, okay, we're back? An interaction or a fan moment where you're like, all right, we're good?
Yeah, there was. I had one of my characters, a puppet, Tuck Bodkins, here with me, and this little boy just threw himself at him, was just enthralled with him, and it's like, yeah, that's the kind of connection I like to make at these shows. So that was precious to me. That was the best.
Yeah, I love that. I love to hear that. And there's so many kids. Like, Tom Zahler alluded to it, and I had the same feeling. That I was worried there wouldn't be many kids. But there are so many kids, so many of them in cosplay and just going for it. So that's been good to see. So, your book, you have Bodhi Troll, you've done Fraggle Rock, you've done Cute Creepy, the sketchbook, which is awesome.
Yeah, I've got a couple different sketchbooks I put out in the last couple of years just to sort of supplement the books I didn't have, because it's been a while since I've been able to work on Bodhi, because I've been working for Disney for the last 3 years.
Right.
And all those books are sold in Europe, so I didn't have the opportunity to have them on my table. But it's been nice having some fresh work on the table, so that's why I did those. And then Fraggle Rock, which I worked on a few years ago for Boom. And that's been going really well at the show, actually. There's a bunch of Fraggle fans.
It's coming back.
Yes.
Right now on Waze, you can set up your car to be the dozer from the bulldozers. Doozers.
Yep.
And you can have your voice be Red Fraggle.
I got that. I already did it on mine.
It's a little annoying sometimes when you're lost, but if you're not lost, it's great.
If you listen to Red, you won't get lost.
That's fair.
Just saying.
But we also have some My Little Pony and some other stuff. So, Jay, how did you come to cartooning?
I've been drawing since I was a little kid, and that's all I ever wanted to do. And I'm one of the few kids that stuck with that childhood dream. I started self-publishing early on, and then hooked up with a small publisher for my first book, Dead Duck. And then from there, I started getting noticed to do licensed properties like My Little Pony. The Disney stuff I was telling you about, and then a lot of stuff from Marvel, and it just kind of snowballed from there. So I was able to do Bodhi Troll myself, my creator-owned piece, and a multitude of other things that was licensed properties.
So one of the things that's happened since the pandemic is that you, and I think you did a little before, but you stream while you draw, and I love watching you stream because it's just stream of consciousness. Sometimes you're singing, sometimes you're having random conversations.
Yep.
Sometimes you're talking to your cat.
Yep, always, yeah.
So what was that like? How has that been for you?
I mean, that's great. Actually, a lot of people talk about it and they wish I would do it more often. It's just, if I'm working on something that's an assignment, it's harder for me to concentrate than if I am just, I feel like drawing a superhero right now while chatting with people online. I mean, that's a lot easier for me. So, but more often than not, I've got assignments that I'm doing. But I love doing it. And I've got a background in theater, so I'm used to improv. I'm used to just talking off the cuff about all sorts of things. So it's definitely a good tool for me.
And then you're on TikTok.
I recently got on TikTok. I post a lot of artwork showing my process. When I draw digitally, I can record the whole process, and you just don't see my hand moving around. So it's really neat. And I've got a lot of those. I've got some stuff I've done with my character, Tuck Bodkins, the puppet. And, a lot of just silly stuff, fun stuff, hopefully stuff that makes good use of video.
Yeah, I think we need to get Tuck Talk to be a thing.
Yes,
Tuck
legit.
Bodkins TikTok. There's TikTok for everything.
That's true.
We need one just for Tuck.
I would agree with that. I would try real hard to get that going.
All right, you heard me, the internet. Hashtag Tuck Talk. Follow Jay on TikTok. Jay, where can other people follow you?
Follow me at jfosgate.com, and I have links to all my social media on my website.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good to be back. Con still, right?
It is
New York
still.
Comic Con with Emily S. Whitten, the writer of The Underfoot.
That's right.
And interestingly enough, Emily is a person I only know because of this convention. Because during the pandemic, people put the convention together, put a Zoom together, and stuck us in a room, and we became friends that way.
We bonded.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, tell everyone who may not know about The Underfoot.
Absolutely. So it is an epic sci-fi saga about intelligent hamsters. They live in a post-apocalyptic Washington, D.C. All humans are gone, probably our own fault, let's be honest. And in the first story, we focus on the hamster aquatic mercenaries, or HAM, who have swimming and diving and other special aquatic abilities. They are looking for a new teammate for their team so they can go on a mission. So all the little hamsters are competing to see who gets to be the next ham. It's full of like friendships and fighting and mysteries and adventures and weird science and history all baked into it. And it is appropriate for middle grade and up. So pretty much a lot of people can read this book and enjoy it.
And it's Ringo nominated, so you know it's good.
Best Kids Comic or Graphic Novel Ringo nomination last year. We're very, very proud of that.
And there's a second volume.
There is. The second volume explores the expanding world of the Underfoot. They meet some new friends with different abilities and skills. They have to sort of navigate a wider understanding of the world that they live in.
So, why hamsters?
Because I love hamsters and I own a hamster. And if I can possibly show you my tiny hamster. This is my little hamster, Lily. Lily is the tiny hamster that I love so much. And this is my fourth tiny hamster that I have owned. They don't live for that long, unfortunately. This one is 3 years and at least 8 months old, so like an old hamster. But they're so interesting and they're so cute and they're really just sweet creatures, but with a lot of weird traits to the different breeds and all of that. So it got into that, and also I used to tweet as my hamster, and my co-writer Ben Fisher, he started tweeting back at me as a hamster. So the little hamsters were talking on Twitter, and then we went, this could be a story, and that's how we started.
That's great. So, is this your first convention back this year?
It's not actually. We did Pensacon, and then we did AwesomeCon, and then we did Gem City, and then DragonCon, and now we're here, and it's all very strange, but we're glad to be here.
Right. Has there been a moment, a fan interaction, a transaction, whatever, where it's like, oh, we're back?
You know, there was something really nice just earlier today when we were, everybody's doing Zoom now. Obviously, we met through that and everything. So earlier today, a woman came over who's a teacher, and she has a book podcast called Amongst the Books Podcast, and her students interview the creators. So we had done this podcast, and now she came over, and I got to meet her in person. And I was like, we finally get to meet in person. We get to have those experiences again. So that was really nice. And check out the Amongst the Books podcast.
Absolutely. So where can people follow you? Where can they support you? How can
So they can buy these books. You can buy them from my website. Everything is at the Emily ESSE. So Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and my website is just theemilyesse.com. You can buy the books there. You can buy them from OE. You can buy them from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, or you can get your local bookstore to open them or order them for you, and then you can support your bookstore by getting the books from a local place. So yeah, follow me, buy the books, talk about the books, give us good reviews or whatever reviews you want, but hopefully you'll enjoy the books.
Thank you so much.